McDonald. The B final of the women's 200 metres individual medley. And in lanes 1, 2, 3, 6, 7 and 8, they're all juniors, just 4 and 5 senior swimmers. And look at this down in lane number 1, Louise Jones of the Royal Wolverhampton School, gone off very quickly indeed, and she looks good down this first 50. Also going well is Ruth Fowler in 7 on the fly leg.
Yeah, not really breathing very often at the bottom of the screen. Louise there breathing every 3, which is very unusual in the start of the 200 individual medley. It's very sort of difficult on the lungs to be able to do that, so maybe working a little bit hard.
It was a fascinating fly to back turn, I have to say. I didn't quite see what happened, but I'm not quite sure she got stuck a little bit. But anyway, still going well is Louise Jones at the bottom, but now taking over certainly is Ruth Fowler. Very good fly and a really strong backstroke with Annabelle Wilkinson of City of Sheffield up there in lane 8. 7, it's Ruth Fowler. She's going to turn first. And her and Annabelle Wilkinson in 8, looking very good at the halfway mark.
Yeah, just opting for that flip turn there. Maybe not quite confident yet to practice that rotation turn, so that crossover. A little bit of room for improvement there, but these two girls now having their own battle, really working through that breaststroke. You want to be really stretchy, so you want to get to the front of your stroke and squeeze a little bit more from those feet to really push you down this breaststroke leg.
Well, the quality breaststrokers in this field starting to charge in the centre, and Alicia MacDonald of Edinburgh University coming back into contention, starting to take over the lead in the centre now. Also going well is Holly Robinson of Repton in lane 2. Robinson of Repton in 2, Alicia MacDonald of Edinburgh University in 4, and these two leading by about 1.5 metres from in lane 5, Abigail Miles, and lane number 8, Wilkinson. But these two in 2 and 4 look very good.
Yeah, Robinson here. He's got to come back in 32 flat to achieve that European Juniors time, so it's a pretty quick returning 50, but she's giving it a go.
Yeah, the lifetime best is 2:20. Never gone under 2:20 before. She's certainly going to go under that. And this is a very good swim in lane 2. Holly Robinson in 2. Alicia MacDonald in 4. Who gets the touch? It is in 2. 2:17.90 just. Well, the quality of British swimming at the moment is very good. We've already had 2 juniors make the consideration time for that European Junior Championships in this 400 medley from that Priority Paris final. We've actually got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 swimmers in this B final, all of European junior age, so they can make it. And then actually coming up again in the final, we've got another 3 or so. So the depth around that 3:53 is very good indeed, but then I guess the real challenge is to try and get them into 3:40s and then start getting closer to the podium.
Yeah, I think that 3:53 time is pretty competitive, and we've had a little bit, on all events you have like a little bit of a gap and a lull where there's not many swimmers coming through, so it's good to see so many junior swimmers, especially in the 400 individual medley, coming through, because it only looks positive for sort of LA and beyond that the calibre is being developed now in these A, B, Priority Paris finals. Looks good for British swimming in not just next year at the Olympic Games, in 4 years and in 8 years' time.
Well, the times that were first and second in that Priority Paris final, very good indeed from Phoebe Cooper and Evie Dilley. And so they've set the mark for the 6 juniors in this final. Must be quite tough to see one of the slowest final go so quickly, and then 6 of them here. Very interesting to see how they approach it, having just watched a very, very quick first final.
Yeah, a lot of these girls swam personal bests to make this final, so they'll be thinking, is it a big ask to maybe drop another couple of seconds to get close to that 4:53.5, but Matilda Bogle, we saw this morning, have a fantastic butterfly and backstroke leg, and she kind of did it on her own this morning in one of those outside lanes. So now she's back in the final. She's in one of those centre lanes. She's got a couple of swimmers around her, maybe pushing her on. It'd be really interesting to see if she can nip under that 4:58.4 and end up with another personal best at the end of the day.
So coming into the halfway mark in this, the B final of the women's 400 medley. And it's pretty tight. 4 swimmers up in lane number 8, Holly Marshall. She's a junior from Repton. And then in lanes 2, 3 and 4, all very, very close indeed. What must be split by about maybe a second and a half or so. And now the charge comes on the breaststroke, and it really does sort the field out, this breaststroke leg, doesn't it, Amy?
Yeah, definitely. You can kind of tell when somebody's maybe not the strongest breaststroker because it either costs them a lot and then they're tired for the freestyle, or they just drop slowly from maybe first or second to kind of third, fourth, fifth, sixth. So that's what's so interesting about 400 medley, and really why you've got to stick to your own race plan and not worry too much about the other swimmers, because you could quite easily start to panic and think you're being caught or you're not swimming very well, but in reality it's maybe not your strongest part and it's somebody else's best leg. So for me it was kind of just focus on my own race plan, get my head down whilst kind of keeping an eye on what's happening, but trying not to worry, because it isn't over until it's the last couple of meters on that freestyle and you're driving right into the wall.
So lane 4, Susie McNair going very well from Stirling, and there's still, what, four or five swimmers right in the hunt here with 100 metres to go at this turn. So a fascinating B final of the women's 400 medley, and with 6 of these swimmers being juniors, the charge is now on 3:48. Well, they're going to have to swim a very fast last 100 metres to make sure that they achieve the junior qualification standard, but it's not impossible.
Yeah, around that 65-second split is a really good back 100. So if any of these girls are freestyle swimming, they've got that in the bag, then they're very, very close to that 4:53.5 mark. But in the centre of the pool, still in that white hat, in those yellow lanes, going really well, it is Susie McNair from Stirling Swim. So 4:21.96, so a little bit of an ask to come down that last 50 in 32 seconds beyond that 4:53.5, but she's really working hard, she's really gone to the legs, and she's just giving it everything in this last 25 metres.
So the 16-year-old Susie McNair from Stirling does look good down this last 100 metres of this B final of the women's 400 medley. The times is going to be just outside of the consideration time for the European juniors at 4:54.30.